Hey guys, how to add a little bit of height. Can you maybe push those to equal the height?
Push what?
That.
Oh, these.
Like just to kind of make the same height so it's. All of it. There you go. Okay. Can you hear me, Evan?
I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry guys for the malfunction. I don't know what's going on.
It's part of the internet.
No, I had to get a new screen on my phone and it wasn't letting me push the button. It was like you were sending it and I guess the screen's not sensitive enough. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hey everybody. Thank y'all for joining in. Please make sure you like and share this video so that Evan and I can get the awareness out for anti-bullying initiatives, as well as some of the key topics that we're going to talk about. I think it's going to be very informative, somewhat invoking, and I think at the end of this conversation, I'll let Evan tell you the number that viewers can call in and ask questions. We'll be able to provide you with resources both on Evan's social media pages as well as on Macy's Miracles page and on my personal Facebook page.
So, you ready to start? Ready? So is that a yes?
Hey everybody for joining.
Stop.
I hate hearing that, but that is definitely the sad realistics of our special needs population having to go through bullying. So we definitely want to give you some great informative information. And if you are a school, high school, elementary, middle school teacher, administrator, please definitely join in. We would love to be able to give you additional information, assist you with some of the programs that all of us are coming into a combined effort to do together and to stand united for not only our students, but we also want to stand for the administrators and the teachers within the school environment that does have to endure bullying and create safe zones across America and then extend globally so that we can provide a safe area for everyone, because no one should get bullied, no matter who they are, no matter what differences they have, no matter what zip code they come from or how many commas are in their bank account. We must stand together because unfortunately bullying does not end by the efforts of one person. It ends by the efforts of us all joining together and fighting this epidemic. It's all yours, Evan. I need to charge this device.
So, like Kylie said, that's a great topic to talk about because
it's not charging.
It's charging?
Sorry.
So it's a great topic. If anybody is commenting to this video and you want to call in, call myself. Call the number 832-236-0692, and I will put you on speaker so you can talk to the guest live from Facebook. I'm bully free television. So, like I was saying, Hailey is an emotional speaker. She does a lot for the community. She hangs out with Carl DeSana, the actor. He's famous for he's known for his work. His wife, Tina Chandler. She's a muscular. How do you call it, Hailey?
I'm sorry, Evan. I was having charger malfunctions. I did not mean to interrupt you, and I know you can hear us talking. I apologize.
Okay. So Tina Chandler is like not a wrestler. She's a bodybuilder, and that's called Disana's wife. And Kylie has a daughter with autism, and she does a lot for her daughter and bringing the community together by doing these awesome events. Like Kylie does a lot with Marcy's Miracles. Um, like she's doing a softball game coming up. She has all that information on the timeline. If you want to get involved as a volunteer or you want to sing national anthem, we can have auditions. So we can like sing. People have you can get opportunities out of it by being a buddy, peer mentor, by playing softball with the kids and cope with them. Um, can you hear me, Holly?
I can hear you. Sorry, I was responding to questions on while you were talking. I apologize.
All right. So anyway, like I was saying, like highlight does a lot, to be honest. Like the only event I've been to of Marcy's Miracles was the Night of Superstars. That was a blast. And, and I believe Bud Collier has a question for Hailey. You have a question for Hailey?
Tell her that I appreciate everything she's doing. What is she seeing in relationship to the 504s and the special education that they're doing for the kids?
I couldn't hear the question, Evan. What did he ask?
Ask again, Bud.
Do what?
Ask again the question.
Yeah, ask her how are they advocating for the special education kids in relationship to their 504s and their arts.
So I heard this question. Good question, Bud. We are working directly and indirectly with lobbyists on a Texas, Louisiana, and also on a national level. And some of the things that we're doing behind the scenes is obviously fighting for the equality and also fighting for the extension of the benefits and not the reduction. Those are some of the things that we're doing, but a lot of that, I am definitely out. I go to the capitals and advocate, but a lot of that I leave directly for the politicians to do. So hopefully I answered your question correctly.
Hailey, he hung up on me.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Let me hang up again. Let me call him. I don't know why he did that. I'm calling him back. Hey, buddy, you hung up on me.
Well, I'm listening to her now.
Okay. Is that why you hung up? You want to listen to?
Yeah, I want to listen to their answer.
Okay. All right.
Is that cool?
Yeah, Hailey, just keep on talking. Because
Okay. I'm actually looking for your number in my phone, Evan, to post it because other people were asking how to call in.
All right. Anybody is more than welcome to call in, and Hailey can ask questions because she is ending it with a bang. Because next week, 4th of July, there's not going to be live video because I want a day off and enjoy the fireworks and enjoy Independence next week. So Hailey is going to, tonight is her night, and she's going to end it with a bang to the new month. Right, Hailey?
Yeah, I think I heard you, Evan. It's for some reason, it is, I can't hear you very loudly.
Do you hear me now?
But it's probably me because I'm on an alternative device.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you well enough to make out what you're saying.
Okay. So Hailey is going to end it with a bang tonight because next week for the 4th of July, I'm taking a day off to see the fireworks in the honor of our men and women that serve our country. So, go ahead, Hailey. Go ahead.
No, I was doing the same thing. It is, we would not be living in a country that's free had it not been for the men who sacrificed for you and me. So we will be honoring them as well.
Yeah. And I'm excited. So, Hailey, tell me about what you do because you're so amazing. Your presentations that you do are like highly awesome to listen to when you go to these events like the Night of Superstars and um, uh, Mr. Wonderful. You speak from your heart, and it's amazing to see somebody that loves the community.
Oh, well, thank you. I do love our community. I have spent well, obviously, Macy is going to be 18 in August. I still feel like I blinked and no one told me that she was going to grow up. So for the past 18 years, I feel like I've had to be a soldier, a general, an ambassador, an advocate, all put in one to make sure that what she needed was given to her and also to have someone identify those needs. So that is pretty much what's pushed me and propelled me into the speaking platform and the advocacy platform. We have, on top of that, we founded Macy's Miracles, which is a special needs nonprofit that focuses on creating entrepreneurial and mentorship programs. We also do STEM and also our anti-bullying initiatives. We partner with organizations such as I Am Bully Free and Millions Against Bullying to create an environment for our special needs community, because the realistics is 85% of our special needs community has suffered or will suffer some form of bullying in some of the most excruciating ways to ways where people are picking on them. And the sad thing is, they're not bullied because they're disliked. They're bullied because they're not understood. There is a difference within them that someone cannot understand, identify, or there was no awareness. Am I going in and out?
But you're good now.
So that's why I think for everything that we've done, currently Macy's Miracles is based here in Houston. We have a headquarters in Houston, a headquarters in Mississippi, and a headquarters in Dubai for the United Arab Emirates. And we're continuing to expand. And it's just very important and that we work with individuals such as yourself. Not only that we stand on the side with them, stand for them, and stand with them.
Hey, hi. So, I saw a comment from Sandy B. Lewis. She says teachers bully too. Sad to say. Sandy.
Sandy, I read a comment that Mandy put that her boys have to get bullied. Mandy's sons are amazing. They're the most handsome little individuals. They were currently 2 of our participants in our We See Abilities second annual Mr. Wonderful. Very well mannered, outgoing. You know, they didn't ask for the developmental delays that they have. They embrace it though. They try to be the best little boys they can be, but it breaks my heart because it seems like they were being bullied as well. Sandy, I hate to hear that. You know, I count our lucky stars that we personally, for Macy, I have had to deal with bullying for our daughter Gracie, but for Macy, I'm very fortunate we haven't, but I have sat on the phone on call centers. We have gone to Austin, we have gone to Baton Rouge, we have gone to DC, in all regards to individuals being bullied at school, whether it's they're being misunderstood at school by the teacher and classified as being bad versus having a sensory overload situation, or they're being bullied silently in the hallways, or they're being bullied right in front of adults' faces. It's sad because it's happening. I mean, the statistics they're staggering. They really are. You know, some of the statistics that I wrote down.
Sorry. You froze? She's frozen!
Being bullied. And that's per the National Center of Education in 2016. That's only 20.8 that reported. there's over 60% of our kids that are being bullied currently. Just this past year, not only do we have to focus on the physical bullying, but we also have to focus on what's the new age kind of bullying, and that's cyberbullying. With all the social media and the enhancement of the social medias, everybody's coming out with a specific platform. 1 million guys, kids were bullied on Facebook alone in 2017. 1 million. You know, and some people might be like, well, there's a billion people on Facebook. If just one kid got bullied on any social media outlet, that's one too many. But 1 million, that's just, we have to do something, because that's what you call the uncontrolled environment. That's where you have somebody who is hiding behind an electronic device and utilizing that electronic device as its resource and tool to give him or her the power to say things that inevitably they probably would not have the strength, courage, or even the ability to say it to someone's face. But those words stick. Those words cause people to hang themselves, commit overdoses, you know, do mass shootings. One of the staggering percentages that is quite scary, and I will not come on record and say that this is the only reason we have school shootings, because I'm not about to make that disclaimer. But bullying statistics say revenge is the strongest motive for the school shootings. People who are acting out of anger, resentment, they finally have been pushed against the wall so many times that they come out swinging. This is why you see different fights break out. But one thing that is really heartbreaking is, based on the percentages, for 1 out of every 10 students that drop out of school dropped out for repeated and non-addressed or non-reported bullying. That means 1 out of 10 students that dropped out of school didn't get an education, will be stuck and stagnant in their life, will be limited to the resources that they have. When it comes to excelling and opportunities for advancement, they won't be giving those fair opportunities as someone who would have graduated, because of the facts of things that happened to them that was outside of their understanding, or even outside of, you know, their fault. These are things that we need to address, and these are things where we truly have to stand together and be the voice for the voiceless. I'm rambling here.
Your husband just commented, where do I fit in? Where do I belong? I like.
So my husband, Seth Kreiffer, and that was, if you go back after this video, you can listen to Evan playing Seth's song. The song was written, where do I fit in, where do I belong? Seth wrote this song of his own personal experiences. So my husband now currently is almost 6'3", 200 pounds, a very gorgeous looking man, very talented. However, growing up, things were not so easy. He was very tiny, very late to develop, and he was bullied in some of the most inhumane, not knowing where does he fit in, feeling like he was less than. He came up with this song to truly say some of the words is, growing up at home wasn't always easy, but you learn and come to understand. And the purpose of it is find your purpose, you know, understand that your past is your past, and understand that utilizing the problem as the platform versus utilizing the problem as the crutch that allowed you to not be who you're supposed to be, because you never want to allow another person's actions to dictate the benefits or the lack of that happens in your life.
Yeah, I agree everything that Hailey just said, and you know, when I did a presentation last weekend at Hailey's Marcy event, when I was there, I talked from my heart. I've been in the shoes of these people that have ill abilities, people that have Down autism to Down syndrome. Are you? But after I went home, I felt good. I felt amazed. what God put me on this earth, because I was a part of them a long time ago, back in the 90s. I was in their shoes, and I can imagine these kids. Um, God made them for a reason. He, God did it from His own, because He is God. He's powerful, and that He is. He made us different, and so I'm blessed who I am, because I get to use my voice and speak out to these kids and young adults that have disabilities. But I will share my heart, because I'm I'm not only an actor, I'm an advocate, and I always follow the world uh, with Heidi's organization, and I'm so very privileged to do these things for Marcy's Miracles.
You are so awesome, and you're so humble, Evan. You definitely do speak from your heart. I have watched you in action. You did an amazing job speaking to the well over 400, 500 people that were at Hughes Landing this past weekend. So many of the individuals in the audience and even some of the kids came and told me how inspirational you were, because you're proof. If you can stand up on a platform as big as you stand on, for you to go and get booked not only for one season but 2 seasons on the #1 Netflix series Ozark with Jason Bateman. Most people probably don't know that you were handpicked by Jason, which is a huge honor, out of everyone who auditioned, for you to be able to be a huge ambassador for I Am Bully Free, which is not only an anti-bullying organization, but if I'm not mistaken, it's a veteran-owned anti-bullying organization, which is that much more powerful. For you to be a PV speaker and advocate, the things you do, you're showing our community that do not let the limitations that man puts on your life define you. But when someone removes those limitations, you truly raise that individual and become exactly who God has purposely, destinedly created you to be. And I'm so proud of you. I know everyone watching is so proud of you. I know Bud and your whole I Am Bully Free team is so proud of you. And I believe what you do is a great gift, because you speak life back into everyone that you come into contact with. And that's a beautiful thing, and a beautiful character and integrity way to possess your life. Did I lose you, Evan?
What? It just makes me happy.
Said that she knew picked by Jason because she'd researched.
I'm blessed, because I wasn't happy when I used to work at a grocery store, but that's the past. And almost died 2 years ago. I mean, when I was in a hospital bed 2 years ago, I told myself, what do I want to do with my life? Is it the grocery store, or is it acting? Acting. It's my wife. Acting is my wife. And I respect the career, and I respect the field, because I love it. It's in my heart. I can't stop talking about um, auditions and getting gigs, um, advocating gigs, acting gigs. It's like a ladder. Put a straight line in the front. So I'm hopping. Advocating is here, acting is right here. Acting is here, advocating is over there. So I'm.
Well, I love that you found what you love. Hey, Evan, though, I don't know if everyone else is having as much difficulty hearing you as I am. I wonder if it might be that you're too far from the microphone or the phone, because I can't hear you as well.
Can you hear me now?
Can you? No, I mean, you sound very, very far away.
How about now? Can you hear me?
It's still a little far. Is everybody watching? Can you hear Evan very loud? Can you hear Evan's?
Oh, Evan, where are you going to speak next month? I don't know. I'm still looking for those gigs. I hear him well. Melissa said she can hear me.
Okay, perfect. It might just be me then.
Hello. Oh, that's Riley.
It might be me because I'm on an alternative device that's not mine, so it might be that device.
So,
well, then stay with.
Go ahead. Sorry, Harley. You're the guest. Go ahead.
It looks like you're speaking in Dallas next, per Bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what happens because there were some things that happened, so I might just have to take myself there. So I have to rearrange that and see what happens with it. Because the people, she was gonna bring her son and daughter, so she decided to take her husband and her, and they're gonna fly. So I have to rearrange it on my own by taking a megabus instead of a plane. So I'm gonna see how that works.
Let's hope it works out for you.
Yeah, but not only that, you know, um, Highly Kreiffer knows a beauty queen, and the beauty queen was on my show not that long ago, Miss Whitney Montgomery. And so one time for some reason, a long time ago, I think it was last year, uh, November, I think, I I had an interview with Cindy Davis Presents, My Story, His Glory. And I didn't know this. I didn't know anything about it. And I didn't know who she was. And so it said, who? She was talking about the show. And I'm like, and she knows Cindy Davis. And and Miss Montgomery said, I was going to interview you, Evan. Say, you were? Say, yes. But I was out of town. I, I couldn't be there. I was going to talk about career. So I have a feeling maybe in July, I don't know when, it'd be amazing to go back to the studio and to do an anti-bullying interview with Miss Montgomery instead of Cindy Davis. Because I didn't know she wanted to talk to me about my career as an actor. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Well, that would be a great blessing. Whitney has been one of my best friends for almost 12 years now. She's actually one of our global ambassadors for Macy's Miracles and also one of our ambassadors for We See Ability. So you couldn't be in better hands with that interview. She's a beautiful soul. We just recently, actually, Friday night, the night before the Mr. Wonderful pageant, had the honor of presenting her with a Macy's Miracles and We See Abilities City of Houston proclamation for being one of our ambassadors and declaring June 23rd, 2018 as Whitney Montgomery Day.
I saw the
with
I saw the
beautiful part.
I'm so proud of her. I mean,
I am so proud of her.
She's a nice lady. She has a good heart. She there's great people on this earth, and I want to talk about that. I want to get into the scoop. We have to be nice to one another. If you're not nice and you're mean, it's gonna bite you right back in the butt, and you don't, and it's not gonna be pretty. Your friends will reject you like that. So make sure you're nice to the people that you are with. If you are on an acting gig or on a big set, get along with everybody. Because if you don't get along, Are you going to get another job if you don't get along? I don't know. Probably not. But that's why we should show people with respect. If it's an acting class or if it's on sets, we we have to be nice to anyone. Uh, in the entertainment or not in the entertainment, we still have to be nice, right, Haley?
I couldn't agree with you more. Another one of our global brand ambassadors is Miss Texas USA, Logan Lester, and what her platforms Be Kind. And I think that if we want to change the world, we can't change it by a thought. We have to change it by an action. And that action needs to be extending generosity, empathy, and kindness to one another. So I couldn't agree with you more. Mandy, I just want to address your comment. It was a true honor. We want to thank you for sharing your boys with us. We could not be more honored to be partnered with you and your family. Your boys are amazing, Mr. Wonderful ambassadors. We loved having them. Tammy, you had a great question, very provoking, or not provoking, ooh, that was the wrong word, invoking of thought. And I think it's a question we need to discuss. Tammy Anderson stated, how do we stop bullying when it seems parents and teachers turn a blind eye? So that is a great question because we need to address that because the bullying's never going to stop. And that's why so many of the kids do not report an incident of bullying. And that is because the fear of nothing happening except retaliation from those that are bullying them. I think that we have to bring some level of accountability and definitely some level of awareness and teaching. We need to let the parents and the teachers know the difference, especially within our special needs community, the difference from an autism or a special needs meltdown versus a bad behavior, so that the kid is not mislabeled into a bad kid or a troubled kid when what they're dealing with is a sensory overload. When it comes to in the schools, we need to bring more awareness and safe zones. We need to show, we have the best way to do it. We can't force a parent or a teacher to come forth and bring that action, but we can invest in the kids some self-sustaining skill sets, some self-awareness of the bullying, and we can invest in them how to report it. You know, one of it is kind of creating a self-advocacy program. I think it's very important we create these self-advocacy programs in the school system, letting them know, okay, this is where you report it. Have a specialized team that understands how to address a bullying situation or incident, how to document it, how to make a plan of call, action, and not just write it out, but actually act that plan of action out. How to enforce an environment where they're not turning the other cheek, because we're getting not only the adults but also the peers involved. I think the biggest thing also is addressing the fact that most of the bullies that are out there bullying, a lot of them don't want to be a bully. A lot of them are bullying because that's the environment that they're seeing at home. That is a level of their misunderstanding. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to just have people who are very aggressive and that are not walking in the right path. We can't classify every single person as someone who has been troubled, but in my mind, in my heart, someone doesn't wake up one day and says, I want to be a monster. Usually they turn into a monster, i.e. a bully, because someone was a monster to them. And it becomes a cycle, a very vicious cycle. And if that cycle is not broken, because we don't give someone the resources and tools to become capable at breaking it themselves, then we are literally, as parents, adults, teachers, administrators, we're failing the system and we're failing the kids.
Right.
So if I answered your question with my ramble, sometimes I get on a soapbox and there's no getting me off. Hopefully I answered.
So, just a comment. His name is Mike. He said, what have you heard about school improving their zero tolerance on bullying? Right now, the zero tolerance is a joke. Aaron was bullied terribly.
Well, and I know Aaron's story. It not only infuriates me, it breaks my heart, because this is a little boy who is the most precious earth angel out there. He will speak life into you. He tries to motivate you. He's one of the most inspiring individuals who comes from an amazing family. So, and Mike's right. Aaron fell through the system. There is, right now, I have to say, school systems just started reporting bullying and documenting it only going back to 2005, when it became relevant that it existed. Not to say it didn't exist all these years, but I think now that they're saying, okay, we have this zero tolerance, it's great they have a bill into place. It's great that they have, probably bylaws written. But the problem is all of it is just pen to paper, paper put in a binder, binder put into a shelf. We have to physically put in organizations that will go in and pretty much help these schools come in and implement these safe zones. Whether it is building, just like they have the Glee Club or the FFA, or we need to have an anti-bullying association that is put on every campus and every school, giving these children an escape and a safe zone, a place where they can speak, freely, a place where they don't have to fear retaliation. And we need to not only be able to provide support groups to the bullies, or the ones that are bullied, but we need to provide a support group to the bullies. We need to show them better. We need to show them what they can do and what they can't do, and the ramifications of their actions. I think that is really important, because I think that having these programs, Aaron would not have fallen through the cracks. The system would not have failed him. But unfortunately, even in some of the biggest schools, or even to the smallest schools, bullying, even though it seems like it's been around forever, and it has, the resources to bullying, the national associations that are out there, the statistics, the realistics, it's still not enough where we have enough people who aren't practicing on old school policies that are forward thinking into being able to understand how can we implement a psychosocial situation into this environment of the school where the kids are safe.
So here, Hailey, there was a girl on Facebook. I forget her name. She has a child with autism, and she's always, I told her before. I said, go ahead, I'm an advocate. You can advocate too. But her child was standing up for herself, for the teacher, because she's being mistreated because of her autism. The teacher put her in timeout for her standing up for herself, and her mom is mad about that. Having an autism mom, what would you say to her to fix that problem?
What would I say to the mom, or what would I say to the child?
To mom, not the child.
To the mom, I would definitely say it's all going to be in your delivery. You can get the same end result that you want to get, but we also have to be careful how we deliver the message, because our reaction to someone's act could indirectly affect us getting the outcome of resolution. So as an autism mom, one of my best friends is a huge advocate. She owns Autism Moms Are Beautiful nonprofit, or she founded the Autism Moms Are Beautiful nonprofit, and advocates a lot with me. This is where I would tell her, use this as an opportunity of education. That teacher needs to be educated on the difference from an autism sensory overload meltdown to bad behavior. So whether your child is high functioning, Asperger's, all the way down to, nonverbal, your child has sensory sensitive issues, and we have to, as parents, make sure that we are securing the environments that our child is in so that they can excel and thrive. But we can't do that from the hours of 7:30 to 3:30 or, 8 to 4, whatever time your kid is in school. We have to trust the individuals that are in those institutions to do that for us. Unfortunately, not all those people have the awareness nor the education to the difference from a meltdown to a bad behavior. So as me being an autism mom, I would look at that as soon as I went and I prayed and asked God to give me the discernment and the choices of my words so that it would be received, versus me acting like the natural human being of an upset defending my child kind of mother. But I would definitely tell her, use this as an educational tool, partner up with organizations that could go into the school and teach the teachers for upcoming IEP and ARDS. Use that opportunity to bring forth any documentation clinically to the doctors, from the doctors to the school. When you have every single administrative professional that is on your child's curriculum team, as well as peers and clinical team within the school system district, and provide them with that. If that still doesn't assist it, find an advocacy individual that can go in and fight that battle of education for you.
So highly, there's a girl named Maddie, and she just commented. She says, I was bullied whenever I was growing up, so I know how it feels, and I just hate to see my kids. That why it hurts me seeing them put thought that, can you tell me what I can do help them think better for themselves?
So my heart breaks, Mandy. Sorry, I was responding to a comment.
Sorry.
You were bullied. It's not fair. It's not even okay. And I hate the fact that your kids are getting bullied because they're so beautiful and precious. It makes me at a loss for words, especially for people that I know personally, because it doesn't make sense for a person that I know or I don't know to get bullied. I can't understand what goes through a person's mind to do that to y'all.
So, and also, because I'm bully, here's another question. I'm Bully Free has this thing about David's Law, and I can't remember what David's Law is about. It's hard for me to understand it. Whenever we, can someone explain? Because it's hard for me to explain it. Yes, the parents are the children's voices. Thank you highly, Michelle. So David's Law. But I need your help.
So, are you asking me, Evan, or are you asking Bud? Because Davis Law is an anti-bullying, cyberbullying law that was put into place for protection of the kids who suffered and endured that. I mean, it's a long law. There's other anti-bullying things that have been written into it, but the gist of the David's Law is an anti-bullying law that's put into place in cyberbullying. And I agree, it does need to be put. It needs to be put globally. It doesn't need to just be put domestically on a national level, because the problem is you may be here in Texas being bullied online by someone. Use you as an example, Evan. You could do a whole video. You could put out your sizzle reel, and then you might have people that are haters that, if your page is public, which most of the kids don't know to put it private, or they'll go behind their parents' back and put it public, then people can start commenting, mean people. The majority of your cyberbullying, unfortunately, does come from people within a 5-mile radius that knows you, that goes to school with you, whether it's, and the majority, now I won't say the majority, but the larger population of percentage of cyberbullying, unfortunately, comes from the female population.
So, my director, Bud Collier, said, do you want me to come in and explain? But I think you explained it already.
I didn't get into detail. If you have if somebody wants to call in, I think that would be great. I think it would be very informative. I was just giving you like a synopsis of it, but a caller would be great because it gives us a different point of view.
Okay, bud, call me. What's Marcy, by the way? I want to say hi.
Where's who?
Marcy. Macy? Marcy?
Oh, Macy. I'm actually not at home. She's at my house.
Where you at?
I am at one of my offices.
Oh, cool. So, Lucy. Yeah, I'm called. Bud, are you there? Let's see. Hold on a second. All right.
Yes, Michelle, I do agree. There needs to be federal committee. Going. Hey, bud.
Oh, it's his voicemail.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna see if he calls back. He's watching us. Anyway, so whatever Heidi was saying, it's true. I mean, people going back into the new school year in August, make sure you're taking your kid to the right school for their education. Because when you go back to school, I think. Hey, bud. Yeah, I can hear you. You're still we're still on Facebook Live.
Yeah, do you want me to come on and talk about David's Law for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I live?
Yes, you are.
Well, Haley, you were totally correct on everything you were saying. Let me just add a couple of other things with David's Law. It's been out about 2 years now. What we're seeing with David's Law, before David's Law was approved in Texas, basically there was no law to protect kids. So kids go up and cyberbully your child, and there was no recourse. But now, when that happens, the police can get involved. And if your child commits suicide because of that, then the kid's going to get some type of penalty, from a misdemeanor to possibly a felony. And as we see that, now the police get more involved in it because, so David, Memorial Mohawk, we went to the Capitol and helped push this through and testified on what we're seeing. There was multiple kids. And it was linked to suicide and self-harm. And these kids make these fake pages. But what we're also seeing with cyberbullying is what I think Evan and I are going on 3 July to a church to talk about cyberbullying. It's when children download all these different things from these different Facebook pages like Snapchat or like iCloud, and it's got pornography on it. You're in trouble for that. So those are things that we're trying to teach the kids about bullying. And another thing that's buried deep down in the David's Law, if your child needs to see a psychologist directly related to cyberbullying, there's a way that you can possibly sue those parents for some of that funding. Because after your child sees a psychologist, it could be for the rest of their lives simply for something that happened on that page. So, and if you have any more information or need more information, call me at 713-478-3049, and I'll go over the law with you in a lot more detail.
So, Bud, quick question. With I Am Bully Free, when in the comments that you commented below, if there's anyone watching, I know that we have a lot of our Macy's Miracles families watching. So I just wanted to let you all know that Bud and Evan are available to attend any speaking event. And sorry, I'm not sure what part of if you're even in Houston, Bud, so I apologize if I'm throwing you a job real quick, but I know Evan's here. But guys, they can come in and speak about David's Law. They can come in and speak about safe zones. They can come in and speak about resources and self-advocacy programs. I mean, obviously, you know that you have your Macy's Miracles resources, but Bud is so right. I was hoping that one of our families was on And for the sake of their privacy, I won't say who it is. But we have one of our Macy's Miracles autism girls who's very high functioning, very gorgeous, beautiful, talented, who's getting bullied in the North Houston area currently. And unfortunately, no matter how much the parents have pushed the David's Law, even the federal officers are kind of just chucking it up to, oh, that's just girls. But these girls are being very vulgar, very abrasive, and to where now they're even pushing her in the hallways. And this is a high functioning autistic child. So I think the more that, like you said, Bud, is getting in there and bringing awareness and forcing David's Law down their throat and letting people know, look, get a grip on your kids, get a grip on your schools, because not only can the parents be held liable, but in some parts of that law, it does say that the institutions, should they turn a blind eye, could be held liable.
Physical assault by Michelle. Yeah, and that's true. Whatever Hailey said, physical assault is a part of it. Physical assault. Bob Collier hung up, but he's listening to the live Facebook, Hailey. Who else is commenting? Thank you, Bud, for taking the time to explain David's Law. Thank you, Bud.
Thank you, Bud. That was awesome. You know, Evan, I was in some of our research when we were, when that's kind of what we do is our data mining for Macy's Miracles for our divisions. Did you know that our American schools harbor approximately 2.1 million bullies and 2.7 million of their victims? You put that together, we literally have 4.8 million affected lives from bullying in our American schools. This is why David's Law. And unfortunately, bullying does still exist physically, but with modern day age, cyberbullying is just, we've got to get some kind of grip on it. And we can't stop a person from hiding behind a cell phone, an iPad, or a computer, but we can educate them on the ramifications of, you continue to do this, and there's a life that is lost over it, whether it's a life that's physically lost or a life that's emotionally lost. There are chances that you could see jail time, juvenile delinquent time, and your parents can be fined very heavily.
It's true. See, like, from now on, when I do I'm Bully Free television, there's no bullies on the I'm Bully Free. And what happens is, when you comment and you make my guests feel uncomfortable, guess what? Block. All I can do is block, so you can't message us. We have to be, whenever I bring a guest on, it's good that we bring guests onto our television, because they get to share what they are doing and their organizations, and people around this world are making a difference. They are not on live TV to talk, to hear nonsense. Nonsense we don't need in our lives. The bullying and all that, being harassing, the tolerance that you put in comments, that's gonna be deleted. Right, Hailey?
Yes.
So don't do it. Don't even try to be a bully whenever I'm doing live videos. But I haven't seen anyone do that right now. But I'm just keeping you guys minded.
Well, I think you're right, Evan. I mean, it's easy for you or I to delete a comment that is inappropriate, disrespectful, or even offensive. But the problem is you and I know better. When you start dealing with impressionable youth who they have so much body dysmorphia, they have so much image issues. There's, so much of these fake profiles on social media where I'll call it the fake lives, where women look absolutely perfect, the Kylie Jenners, which Kylie Jenner's gorgeous, not knocking her. But the problem is our girls start comparing themselves and their flaws as problems versus beauty. So that's where all this bullying starts, because I like to say the enemy performs a crack in the shell of the foundation that God places in us. Because where there's an insecurity is where the enemy can lurk, and he can use other people to hurt us, break us, or bully us. And so this is where we really have to start embracing the beauty within who we are, whether we're male, whether we're female, and quit comparing ourselves to people on social media or into their school environment that we want to look like. Start falling in love with ourselves. And I think a lot of that will help lessen the agitation and the aggression that we're seeing in the school systems, because I don't care who you are, where we go, we're always going to have the mean girls, as they say. But if we can build our young men and women up with strength and courage and the foundation of who they are and whose they are, then I think that we can give them the strength to be able to turn the other cheek or delete the comment, like you said. But until we give them the inner self-confidence, those comments can be breaking emotionally.
One more question. This is sad. I just read it. I watched my 15-year-old daughter collapse in a bullies in high school. Over 60 hateful comments in a matter of a few minutes. The next day, I approached the boy's father directly. He had no idea the new GF was doing this to my daughter. Thank the Lord it stopped. It was so very sad and felt helpless at the time. Was over in 24 hours though. By Sandy B. Lewis. Yeah.
The device that my cell phone just died, so I couldn't read that comment, and I was having difficulty hearing. For some reason, everything sounds so far away on the device that I'm on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you. It's just it goes in and out, so it might be a service issue in the room that I'm in. Were they asking me a question, or were they making a statement? Because I couldn't read.
A statement. So let me read it. Sandy B. Lewis said, I watched my 15-year-old daughter collapse in a heap over Facebook bullies in high school. Over 60 hateful comments in a matter of a few minutes. The next day I approached the boy's father directly. He had no idea the new GF was doing this to my daughter. Thank the Lord it stopped. It was so very sad and felt helpless at the time. Was over in 24 hours though.
It was over in 24 hours, Sandy, because you intervened. And that's what's so important. Like you did exactly what your child needed you to do. You stepped up and you took action, and you did an action that potentially your daughter was not aware of on how to do it. She probably knew what to do, but just it's very intimidating to address those that are doing these things to you. So I commend you for being the mother that you are and protecting your child, and most of all, advocating for her. That's why it was over in 24 hours. Intervention is the key.
So guys, I'm so excited to have Hailey on a part of the show, but I believe she's still at work. Right, Hailey?
Well, but it doesn't, I mean, I'm good, but whatever's, I think we have, oh, wow, we've gone over an hour.
Yeah, so if anybody has questions, comments, this video will be placed, such as I'm bully free, Hailey's timeline if she wants to share it, it's up to her. I will share it on my timeline, on the PP speakers, and actually it's gonna be placed on there anyway. This is my page. But share the video. Share the video with everybody, because let's end bullying together. let's make a difference in people's lives because the world needs to be cleaned with a broom, with a dustpan, and so we can have a better earth.
I don't think I could have said it better, Evan.
Yeah.
Well, and I just want to tell you, thank you for having me on. I always embrace and am honored for the opportunity to speak on our platform, to share Macy's Miracles and our mission, as well as to be able to partner with individuals and organizations such as you and Bud. I believe that if we could come together as a unit and stand together in nonprofits, so many people in my mind think, oh, well, I'm an anti-bullying organization and they're an anti-bullying organization, or I'm a special needs organization and they are. That doesn't matter, because you know what? There's only a populated demographics that you humanly can physically touch. But if you partner with someone synergistically, then you just doubled your territory and you doubled the lives that you can impact. So this is why we love to do partnerships and stand with people such as yourselves. We're very selective on organizations that we work with because we are very protective to the mission and the brand, because we want to make the difference. We don't want one mistake to break the difference. So I commend y'all because you all definitely passed our board. You even passed the board of Millions Against Bullying because they were very impressed on what you and Bud are doing. So I definitely want to tell you both, thank you so much for your mission. Thank you so much for your selfless acts. And thank you so much for reaching out to us and giving us the opportunity to share tonight, to share our platforms and to potentially help save lives and definitely inspire them.
And I got one more thing before Holly goes. So I'm gonna count by 10, the countdown, and because when I finish the countdown, she ended it with a bang, like fireworks, like 4th of July of next week. So count down with me, Holly.
Okay, are we starting with 10?
10.
Okay. 9,
8, 7,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Oh, yes!
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to please like I Am Bully Free. Please like PB Advocates or Speakers and Advocates, and please like Macy's Miracles, all on Facebook, so that you, and also follow so that you can carry on in all of your information from all of our organizations, and we can definitely help inspire, empower, as well as you can stay up to date on our events that are coming up. Thank you.
Thanks, Hailey. Nice talking to you.
You too. Bye-bye. I don't know how to end it, though.
Do you know how to end it?
I don't know how to get off.
Lucy?
So you might until you end.
Let me try it for you. Ready?
Kick me off.
It's nice talking to you.
Bye, Evan.
Bye-bye. So, guys, the show is over. The show is over. Thank you so much for taking the time and the effort listening what's going on in today's society. We're making a difference. So if you want to be a guest, we need one for July 11th. If you want to be that guest for July 11th, get a hold of me. Add me on Facebook, my personal page, direct message, and we will schedule you in by a poster. If you have a great photo of yourself, I will do something like this. I will show you what I do because this is my job. And every week, whenever I have a guest, I make them a flyer. I made her a flyer, and she made herself a flyer. See, I did one like this one. See, for example, that's Whitney Montgomery, right? That's Whitney Montgomery. She's a beauty queen, and I created that. And all that. See, if you see, what's it say? I'm Bully Free Television guest Whitney Montgomery, July 25th. She's gonna come back on July 25th. Whitney Montgomery. So then I have. Do you know who that is? She's a pop star. She's a music artist. Nada Marquez. I talked to her last week, and she is about to get signed with a music label from her song Still Standing. Not only that, this is me and her. I talked to her live, and I made some. I wrote that in, and what else? David James is gonna be on with us on July 18th from the Peyton Heart Project. But I will not talk about what he's going to talk about on July 18th. I'm going to let him have that spotlight because that is his spotlight, not mine. And I'm going to share it with everybody on I'm Bully Free Television. Thank you so much for listening. It's 9:22 p.m. It's a wrap. Have a great month because it is June 27th and July 1st is on July 1st is a Sunday. So happy, safe, new month. God is number one, and he's going to give us hopes and dreams and achievements and being successful. Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate all of you for sticking around and listening to Hailey, Kreiffer, and myself. Let's make a difference together. Love you guys. And I Bully Free does too. Love ya.